All right, guys, welcome to Friday Phone Tips. I appreciate you jumping on. And here's what I want to get across today. I got my insurance license 14 years ago. And when I saw the leads, I was in. And I'm going to explain to you why that worked very well for me. And I'm going to explain to you why I think it works really well for people. But I'm also going to explain to you why I believe it doesn't work for people. So because again, a lot of people go like, well, here's all things you need to do. I'm like, okay, well, tell me what I should avoid doing. I think that's another part of it too, right? Like, do all these things, Shawn. Okay, well, I'm not having success. Well, I didn't necessarily do those, but I've been doing these 4 things, and that's like literally ensured that I'm going to fail. So at the end of the day, for me, and I'm not going to debate it because I've done it. I've called every lead there is: internet, social media, direct mail, 1 day old, 1 year old, 10 years old. I've called every lead you can ever imagine in the history of the world, okay? And I've had the exact same mindset in every lead I've ever dialed. We had instant internet live leads come out. I started calling them, and it was like the easiest thing I've done in my entire life. And the price point made it even easier for me because I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. So I was excited, right? So at the end of the day, my mindset about leads is maybe different than yours. If you're not having success, I would bet, I am a betting man, and I would bet that your attitude towards the leads is you're trying to figure out and believe if the people really need coverage. First of all, I can tell you this. They're going to say things on the phone that make no sense. They're going to say things that sound stupid. They're going to say things that actually are stupid. But they're going to stop doing that when you start taking control. So I can call the exact same lead somebody else calls and go, when you call and go, hey, Frank. And then Frank's like, I don't know this dude. Or can I speak to Mr. Euphemia? Or is this Frank? Or hey, and all of a sudden you're backpedaling as opposed to Frank answers the phone. I go, Frank. Like he's like, damn, I know this guy. Who is it? He's like, yeah, what's up? Or hey, yes, Frank. Frank, Shawn. I mean, boom, still trying to figure out, do I know him? Do I not know him? That's weird. He's not a telemarketer. Maybe I know him. I don't know. I'm not reacting. I'm not getting my guard up yet. And then right into, I'm getting back about this thing you sent me. And I think for me, I kept it very informal because I wasn't trying to intimidate the client. Because, by the way, they asked me for my help. All my job was to get back to them. I remember filling out. I don't remember filling out. And that's my first opportunity to take control of the conversation because they're supposed to have some kind of weird objection, right? Like a lot of them don't, but when the ones have to, they're like, well, I don't really remember doing that. Or I took care of it. Hey, Frank, sounds great. All I'm calling for is getting the information out to you, man. I'm obligated to do it. Like my job, you might have things at your job. You're like, dude, I got to do that anyway. I still have to come out. So I'm out in your area. We got thousands of them a week. I'm out there tomorrow. I got a 7 a.m. or a 10 p.m. No, man, it's Saturday, but I'm off. All right, I don't get up at 7. Let's do 9. I can squeeze you in at 9. 15 minutes, I drop the information off to you. Frank, the nice thing about what we do is pretty simple. If you've already taken care of it, I look at what you have to make sure if I can do anything better and improve your situation, we'll have a conversation. If I cannot, we're going to throw this thing away, this form you fill back out, and I'm done calling you. But at least you can realize that I can't improve your situation. Insurance is a very highly regulated industry. You can't take somebody out of a product and put them in an inferior position. You can't do a replacement on that. That actually would not be compliant, wouldn't be ethical, and you'd have a problem if you did that. So I put you at ease because I'm not selling you anything. If the person says, well, I thought better, but I think I'm good. And I think I'm good is not I'm good. I think I'm good means please tell me I'm not good. And I go, hey, Frank, listen, man, I don't care what you do with the information. Another thing to disarm Frank. I don't care what you do with the information. Do whatever you do with the information, completely up to you. I was like, all right, cool. He's not trying to sell me anything. So, Frank, my job is to get the information to you. So when you say you think you're all good, now I could debate on the phone with him and try to have a long conversation, but nothing good happens over the phone. This is for when you're going out to meet with people, right? Phone script on your selling over the phone and Zoom, that's a different deal. Talk to other people that are doing that. They'll tell you exactly what they're doing. We're having an inordinate amount of success. This is, I'm going to come out to your house, right? Frank, my job is to get the information out to you, continue to disarm you. And what's Frank probably thinking? I may not be able to afford it. Doesn't even know how much it costs. Shawn, I can't afford it at this point in time. That's funny, Frank, because I haven't told you how much it is. So I'll be out there tomorrow, Frank, at 9 and get the information out to you, show you how much it is. And if you decide for some reason you actually can't, but if I start trying to have the debate with Frank, selling him over the phone when I'm trying to make an in-home appointment, I'm going to fail because Frank's locked me in now. Well, what is it and how much? And Frank, don't you care about your family? You can't say that to somebody over the phone. You don't know the person. You can say all of that in person, face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball, as my old mentor would say, kneecap to kneecap, sitting at somebody's table. You can't say that over the phone. So, of course, I'm going to get upset and hang up on you because that's weird. So everything for me is just, Frank, my obligation is to get the information to you. I don't, I know, Shawn, right now it's not a good time. Hey, Frank, you have no obligation to do anything. So anyway, Frank, I'll see you tomorrow night. And everything is just till I'll see you tomorrow. Now, if I think Frank's really not going to be there and I vet him and he's not going to be there, I'm not going to book a fake appointment. But if I'm disarming and I'm non-threatening and he has no obligation to do anything, why would he not meet with me? And he fill out a form. That actually isn't any good reason that he wouldn't meet with me, right? There's no good reason you can come up with. Now, when I'm talking to somebody trying to figure out if they're actually going to be there, right? I go through, people go, teach me how to avoid objections or teach me how to deal with objections. I'm like, I like to avoid them first. Like if my son says, teach me how to fight, I'm like, okay, I'll teach you how to fight when there's no other choice, but let me teach you how to avoid it first. Because like, there's really no glory in that and something bad happens. Like, let's teach you how to avoid. If you can't avoid it, then, I'll teach you how to square your hands up and let's go to work. But right now, let's teach you how to avoid it. So through your objections on the phone, it's the same thing. Let's teach you how to avoid them. Taking control, disarming the client by them thinking you know who they are. You're not doing anything other than saying their name. Why would you say, can I please speak to Mr.? That's weird. Hey, Frank, and people have said to me, man, I thought you were and I've said, this is Shawn. They're like, hey, man, what's up? Because they know it's Shawn. And they go, man, I thought you was my friend or my boy. That's his name. I'm like, dude, we are friends. You sent me a form back with your personal information on it. How are we not friends? Like, you gave me personal information. It is my obligation to come out and get the information. And I had this information that you provided to me. So, like, how are we not friends? So, for me, it really allowed me to see this thing differently. That was always my mindset. Every lead, every dial day, every batch of leads. I never in dialing, I've sold a ton of life insurance personally. Never one time did I say, man, it was the leads or it was the clients or it's a bad batch. I mean, dude, like, have some respect for yourself. These are all people that ask for your help. It's okay to suck at it. You can fix that, but don't suck at it and blame other people. Well, leads aren't any good. No, you're not any good, dude. They filled something out. They just don't want it from you. And most people tend to not be willing. I watch people and listen to people all over the country. Now, they say it their way. They do their thing, but I watch them not act like telemarketers. I watch them not be sales people. I watch them connect with clients real fast. I watch them disarm them by letting them know they're not here to sell them anything. I watch them do all of that. So when I watch them do all of that, and it works for all kinds of people, what are we even talking about? Like, what conversation are we having? So you have to understand the concept and the dynamic and the relationship between you and the client. As far as knowing if they're going to be there, right? Like, somebody goes, yeah, it sounds good, man. I'll see you tomorrow night. If I think Frank's just saying that to get me on the phone, I go, hey, Frank, listen, I'm obligated to get the information to you. So we have two choices. Are you sure you're going to be there? Or are you thinking you might not? Because if I get to your house and you're not there, I'm going to have to wait. And then if I can't get you, I'm going to give another department. They're going to come out and just knock on your door when they're in the area. I want to avoid that. Is there a reason you think you won't be there at this point in time? Period. End of story. Done. But there's really no good objection that would supersede why they filled the form out. Because you can't tell me a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, you filled this out, and then in the interim, now you're good. And the only answer, legitimately a good answer, would be, I took care of it. And the best response to that is, did you have 2 or 3 people look at that when you did that? No. Well, I'm an independent agent. I don't represent one company. I represent multiple companies. My job is to look at what you have. If what you have is better than anything I can provide you, I'll probably get that contract and start selling that product as well. But if it's not better and I can improve your situation, then I can literally get you a new policy and say, hey, we're going to replace this, and here's why, and here's the form we filled out, and here's how it works, because that's the way this whole deal works. You're allowed to buy a superior product if it's better for you with your health or the term of years you want, and if you want return to premium or not, or, I took care of it. Is that the one that gives you all your money back? I got it. I did this. I did that. Is that the one that gives you all your money back? And all you're doing is selling contact. Where people get in trouble on the phone is when you're trying to book in-home appointments. This is not for virtual sales. This is for in-home appointments. Is when they trying to make the sale on the phone, because you're not looking somebody in the eyes. It's very hard for somebody to say no to you face-to-face, especially when they don't know you. Familiarity breeds contempt. They can say no to their friends. That's why you have to have leads. If you don't have leads where you work, you should quit, because you'll definitely fail. There's no chance you'll survive. You might have a week or 9 days. You might get lucky, or your 2 uncles want a policy 1 week and you made yourself enough money to pay the rent. But after that, it's a wrap. You're done. The prospecting will eat you alive. You'll never be able to get ahead. So it's getting you to understand the power that we have with the leads, the respect you need to give to leads, presumptiveness you need to have when you see the leads, and the attitude with which you need to call. So if my attitude is I'm only calling friends that ask for my help, that I know need my help, and I know I can help them, and all I'm selling is my contact, what would there be to scare? What would there be for me to be afraid of? And the reason most people are afraid or concerned is they're thinking about, I wonder what that person's going to think. What's the worst thing that can happen when I say, would they want me to say, can I please speak to Mr. Euphemia? That'd be weirder. But so what? Somebody got mad. Okay. The guy one day said, I thought you'd be dressed up. Came to the appointment. I said, I thought you'd be dressed down. He said, I don't know if I can take anybody seriously. It's not wearing a tie. And I said, my mom said it wasn't the clothes that makes a man. it's the person's heart and their work ethic. He was like, oh, I can't argue with that. You want to come in? I was like, you want me to take my shoes off? You know, like all we were doing was being presumptive, having fun with it. And the last thing I'll tell you is none of it's personal. They say something on the phone you don't like, move on. They say something that doesn't make any kind of sense, just keep moving. If you don't react to the ludicrous things that they say at times, they'll respect you and they'll trust you because they think that you're worried more about them than you are your own feelings and how they're making you feel with their little comments. Business isn't personal. Appreciate y'all.